One tarnation? I meant to do that.
Hey folks, this is Applegeek, and here we are with Season 9, Episode 15. I've heard this is not exactly the greatest episode this season, kind of the opposite. Don't know anything about it myself, so I reserve judgment until I actually see it for myself, which I'm about to do. So, that's all I know at this point. Without any further ado, let's give this a watch. Episode 15 starting now.
I was a little shocked when Princess Celestia told me she wanted to start a scholastic buckball league. But
Snails.
I was even more surprised that she wanted the first game to be
Buckball.
between her school and ours.
Oh boy.
Apparently, she's a huge sports fan.
I thought Celestia was kind of a jock, just with really wavy hair.
What?
Anyway,
I never got that
time.
impression
The
from,
game is in
well,
2 weeks, and I want all of you
after recent
to coach
episodes,
the
maybe.
team. I know how you feel. Young athletes ready to
Fluttershy, really?
Ooh, you can almost breathe in the excitement.
What?
I don't think you should breathe it in so hard.
What is the problem now? You've played
Just
this...
2 weeks doesn't feel like a whole lot of time to train a whole team.
Oh,
Maybe the School of Magic
okay.
play a few other schools first, like the Mane and Tail Styling College or the Scroll Making Institute.
Relax, you're gonna do just fine.
Those exist? Okay.
What makes you so sure?
Because I have faith in my friends, who also happen to be the best buckball players in Equestria!
Yeah.
Twilight has connections. Nice. Nice. They're naturals.
That is sort of true.
I asked Rainbow Dash to help too, but I'm not sure where she...
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh,
When
no.
Twilight said she needed my help with the buckball team, I figured I better grab every piece of coaching equipment I could find. So, what should I focus on? Offense, defense, trick plays?
I was thinking of something even more important.
Oh no.
Awesome! Lay it on me. Whatever it is, I'll give it 120%.
I knew
Water
I could
pony?
count on your enthusiasm. That's why I want you to coach the cheer squad.
Cheerleading?
Okay. No offense to cheerleaders, but in this context, I really feel like this is seen as a major demotion for Dash. Here I thought this was going to be a Fluttershy episode, but it's a Dash episode. Sort of like, why is Fluttershy so freaked out about this? It's not performing, it's the training of others in such a short amount of time. So that kind of makes sense. Oh, Dash. This is going to be interesting.
I don't mean to sound ungrateful. It's
what's the
just when you
title?
said you wanted my help with something
246,
important, I thought you meant
great.
something important.
The cheer squad is important.
Oh, well, sure, cheer squad.
Wait,
is
you're serious? Let me
totally
laugh harder.
important to somebody who isn't me, but I'm more about ponies playing in the game, not cheering for it. I mean, it's great that some ponies only want to cheer, though I don't know why they would.
Well, maybe this will be a good opportunity for you to find out.
You know
I've
what?
seen cheer squads before, on the sidelines, but
Your
I'm
parents?
not 100% sure what
She should enlist the help with
Just
her
mess it up.
parents on this.
I think you might be surprised. In fact, I'm more sure than ever that you're the perfect choice.
I'm actually 120% sure.
Hi,
And it's
Snips.
a good thing, too. The cheer squad really needs you.
What do you
you wearing?
I've been helping out, and let's put it this way.
I'm getting
We've got 2 weeks
Dr.
until the
Seuss
big
flashbacks
game,
off this.
and we could use 2 years. But
Oh.
that's all gonna change, because you're here to save the day.
Okay.
Oh
So,
boy.
why are you here?
What? A pony can't show school spirit?
You don't even go to this school.
Yeah, written.
Okay, when I went to the Buckball Hall of Fame, I found out Buckball souvenirs are big bits. if Twilight's team does well, I can start selling them full-time in Ponyville. So I have a vested interest, and you have an assistant coach.
You know, you should have gone to Flim and Flam school. He would be their assistant in no time.
She's here! Get the light!
Who? Oh!
And over again! We want to dance for each other and for all of our friends.
I like these characters.
I've seen you two around school, haven't I?
I'm Shimmy Shake, and this is Light Hoof.
Light Hoof.
We are your lead dancers.
I wonder not sure who voices them, but
I
I like these characters. I'm expecting lots of fan art and things.
You know what to cheer and make Pony Pyramid!
Ooh, students.
And I thought this could be my chance to make an impression on every pony. You know, for something
Aw.
other than changing shape.
I didn't realize you were into school spirit, Smolder. I just came with these two. Guess they think you can make Cheer Squad cool or something. Don't count on it.
I think Dash is gonna find a way.
Why don't you tell us the plan? How are you gonna make us into the most awesome cheer squad
Yes, how indeed.
Uh,
Wow, that
if you
you're
guys were an actual buckball team, I'd have plenty of ideas.
just overflowing with
Don't know
confidence there,
anything about
Dash.
cheerleading.
No, yes, a good one, Coach. But Headmaster
She's admitting her
picked you for the job.
lack of
so
knowledge.
I'm pretty sure you know what you're doing.
If you say so.
Oh, come on, Dash.
Right.
Come on, you're the biggest Scootaloo cheerleader there is. I mean, come on.
What we've been working on, and she can take it from there.
Cheer Squad can do that!
Yep. All we need is a little music.
Uh-oh.
Over! And over! And over! Again! We want to dance for each other and for all of our friends!
Yona,
2,
not
4,
how
6, 8.
Friendship school is
really great. Oh, I can't hear you.
Well, that was a disaster.
Why did
It's kind
you
of hard to stick to our choreography when the floor is moving.
Yeah, Yana, your stumps are a little too powerful.
Can we make Pony Pyramid instead? Maybe we should figure out what cheers we should do first.
Yeah, because that'll fix everything.
So, I mean, there's a lot of problems, but nothing you can't solve, right?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Listen, you guys don't have anything to worry
She wasn't
about.
even paying any attention at
Don't?
all.
Nope. In fact, I think what you all just did is totally fine. You guys have got this. So, I'm just gonna head down to the field.
Dash.
Great practice, every pony!
What are you doing?
What
Wow.
are you doing? You gotta come back.
He's stronger than he looks.
Squad!
I watched some cheer stuff. Looked fine to me.
No, you
Well,
didn't.
It's not. Do you know what'll happen if they do what they just did at the big game?
Nothing?
Wrong. A good cheer squad gets the fans excited, which gets the team excited. But if no pony's excited, then no pony buys any souvenirs.
I think
He was
you're blowing
that
this a little out of
close.
proportion.
That close to having a real
If I'm going
point.
to make any bits at these games, that squad has to get better. And to do that, they need a coach.
You know what? You're right. Why don't you do it? I mean, you're the one with
Oh,
a vested
no.
interest.
This won't end well.
The trick to being a good buckball keeper is to do nothing. Just empty your mind.
Wow, he's self-levitating now?
The ball.
Did he learn that from Starlight?
Balls don't have minds.
Exactly.
Maybe he's done that before, I don't remember. Balls don't have mine. Yeah.
Where's my black?
Don't think, just do.
Why are you watching
Try
Snail's
is
weird
or try-
practice when you're supposed
what,
to
how'd
be
they go?
practicing with us? Snail's practice is
Do
definitely
or do not.
weird.
There is no try.
I thought Snips was practicing
There we go.
with you. He was.
Do you have any idea how
Oh.
hard it is to dance in this
Well, they're
stuff?
fully merchandised.
All these buttons jingle so much you can't hear my cheers.
speaking up might help a little.
So, don't dance and cheer.
Then what cheer squad do?
I don't know.
Maybe you should! Or whatever. You're the coach. You're supposed to come up with stuff for us to do.
Okay. I've got something for you to do.
Just do nothing. Empty your minds. Be the squad.
We are the squad.
Dash.
Yeah.
Would you quit trying to get out of this and do something meaningful?
Something.
You're still not understand how this make us better.
Me neither.
Huh? Professor Dash needs to stay and coach.
Gah, you guys asked me to come up with something, and I did.
That's
think
not
nothing
something.
counts.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm out of ideas.
This is the school of friendship. If you need ideas,
You're not even trying.
ask your friends for help.
Exactly.
Fine.
I'm sure Twilight's got a book on this or something. That... Nah, only got the uniforms covered! In record time, too. Zecora, even?
Okay. Since you guys
Okay.
have been nagging me non-stop about this cheer stuff for, like, ever,
It has literally been one day.
I went around and got everything you need.
Okay.
What are we supposed to do with hay?
Beats me, but
Yeah,
Applejack
indeed.
seemed pretty
I-
sure about it. Oh, I almost forgot.
A rhyming dictionary?
Yeah,
For
Zecora's a lot
cheers.
less helpful than you think. That's from the library, so you can come up with cheers.
Oh!
So you're just leaving again?
Zecora's no help. Rip.
Look, I talked to my friends, and they said this is the stuff you need. Wouldn't a true cheer squad be able to figure out what to do with it?
But Fluttershy and Pinky wanted us to show them everything we come up with tomorrow.
They want us to get the team all excited before the big game.
Well, then it's a good thing I got you all this stuff. You better get to work.
Don't look at me.
You know, I'm sure Dash would be really good at this if she would
Good work, everybody.
actually give it half a
Let's take
chance. She's just too stuck on the game and not the task she was
Wow,
assigned.
This team is really shaping up. Nice job.
Thanks. I'm excited to see what you've been up to. Yeah! I can't wait to see the cheer squad!
About that. Oh,
You're
that's...
serious.
That's low.
Go team! This is so exciting! Well, I'm sure...
Well, they managed to get Smolder back in his skirt.
How much work does cheer squad need?
Anybody want to buy an official School of Friendship Cheer Squad headband? Now, I personally would buy them before the performance.
Yeah. There's a very good reason for that.
Over! And over! And over again!
We want to dance for each other and for all of our friends.
School of Friendship! Rah, rah, rah! Let's win this game and hit the... Oh, what brings it draw? Spa?
Oh no. Hey. Uh-oh. Thankfully, it's only confetti.
I know I said I couldn't wait to see the cheer squad, but maybe I could have waited just a teensy bit longer.
Oh, yeah! Nice one!
Huh?
What? I don't know what every pony's so upset about. So it wasn't great. Cheerleading's never great. That's why every pony gets up to get a snack during it.
Oh.
What is the big deal?
That was
You
low.
don't know. There's no point in us trying to explain it to you.
Lead dancers out.
Huh. It's not that we were bad. It's that you didn't even want to try to help us get better.
Thank you for stating the obvious.
Why? What are you talking about?
No, you didn't.
I got you a party cannon. It's not my fault you couldn't figure out how to use it right.
Well, you could have shown us!
Oh, ponies might actually care about Cheer Squad if she cheered like that all the time.
Why would you say ponies don't care about Cheer Squad?
Because they don't.
No,
Maybe you don't.
But
Thank
they
you.
do. I bet Headmare Twilight does. And you know what? I do too. I actually got excited when I found out you were going to be our coach. I figured if any pony can make Cheer Squad awesome, it's you.
Oh!
Because everything's always awesome with you.
Exactly.
Or cooler. Or whatever. You're the most enthusiastic pony in Equestria when it's something you care about. I just wish we were one of those things.
Oh!
And it looks like my assistant
Dang.
coach / souvenir selling business is a bust. So I'm gonna take off, unless you can think of something else for me to do.
Leave.
Maybe I can.
I love the bluntness of Smolder. She just tells it like it is.
Squad meeting outside ASAP. Dance ponies, buckball field, pronto.
Okay.
Hey, dragon, get out here and
Did you sleep here all night? Okay.
So what? Is there some new button you want to sell?
Not a button.
Not this.
Sorry, we're not buying.
Oh.
I know I haven't been a great coach because I don't care about cheerleading. But all of you do. And I care about you. So I guess
So show
maybe I care about Cheer Squad. And a good friend reminded me that I can make anything I care about totally awesome.
Wow.
So, from now on, I'm gonna give this thing 120%. And I expect the same from you.
20.
We
I get
are
it.
gonna dance. We are gonna cheer. We're gonna make the biggest pony pyramid Equestria's ever seen. And when we're done, we're gonna make sure every pony on that field is so pumped up, they'll forget they even came to see a game.
But not so pumped up that they forget
Dude.
to buy a pennant or a button or a quality souvenir T-shirt. What?
Now you're getting the spirit there, Dash. You gotta synchronize. She needs to hit the ground every time you're in the air. Or that too? Okay. Louder! Cel's got a little bit of Fluttershy syndrome there, season 1 Fluttershy. Okay, little too much smoke. Eh? Oh, just directing her on where to blow the smoke. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so what is this gonna look like? Wait, those are the butterfly wings! Oh! Bringing that spell back.
The game of buckball traditionally requires an earth pony, a pegasus, and a unicorn, but I appreciate you allowing my students to compete.
Yes!
Of course. And the wings and magical dampening ring you made seem to be working really well.
Oh, magic dampening.
Indeed, though not as well as your team.
I'm the most nervous I've ever been. And that's saying something.
I know how you feel.
Don't worry. So
I should have expected that, but that was still amazing.
win this thing.
What? Oh yeah, totally. But I wasn't talking about the game. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
And that's the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Wow,
Can't talk right now.
I've never seen Dash so not excited about the game. Okay. You got this.
And over again. We'll cheer for our team till the very end.
bad pyrotechnics!
Not bad, right?
They were awesome. Well, they have a pretty decent coach.
Yeah, had to get that in there, didn't you?
And that's the game. Final score,
Aw.
School of Magic 5, School of Friendship 4.
Aww.
Nice work, everyone. I can't win them all. Sometimes that's just how the cupcake crumbles.
You guys were amazing!
Oh.
Flawless. I can't think of any way that could have been better. We could have won the game.
The game was just a sideshow.
You guys were the main event!
I'm glad to see such good sports ponyship on display.
Wow.
Your cheer squad was an inspiration, Rainbow Dash. I'll have to start one at my school as well.
Wow, Rainbow Dash.
Oh, boy.
It's almost like you were the perfect pony to coach cheer squad after all.
Wait a second. Was this one of those things where you knew the lesson I needed to learn before I learned it?
You mean like how you don't have to care about a thing that other ponies like as long as you care about the ponies who like it? Nope, don't know what you're talking about.
Nicely done.
Okay, that doesn't. Twilight has fully become Celestia now. You devious little. I got. Oh, I saw Daikon Krina in there. Okay. Yeah, just with Celestia starting a cheer squad, I'm just imagining, like, either her and or Luna being, like, cheerleaders or something now, but I don't know why I heard that people, like, hate this episode. I mean, yeah, Dash is kind of being a jerk for a lot of it, granted, but there is logical reasoning for that, I felt like, so I don't know, I really like this one, but I'm going to stop talking here so I have a chance to collect my thoughts and don't ramble, so stay tuned, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm now understanding why people have a problem with this episode, or at least one reason. Why on earth, or in all of Equestria, would somebody like Rainbow Dash think so poorly of cheerleaders? You'd think she'd more than welcome a team of people to cheer on athletes like herself. Oh, wait a minute. Her parents majorly embarrassed her for years with all of their cheering over every little thing that she did. So maybe she's just got some really bad memories of all of that and doesn't want to have anything to do with cheering.
Yeah! Greatest report giver of all time! Scootaloo! 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 Keep it down! Okay!
Oh, Okay, well, that's fan cheering, which is different from an actual organized cheer squad. Maybe she just doesn't have any appreciation for an actual organized cheering performance. After all, she's never been involved in any of those herself.
2, 4, 6, 8. Name a place that's really great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeps you coming back for more. 2, 7, 9, 3. The place that we all want to be. 4, 3, 2, 1. The crystal runner, that's the one.
Okay. Well, she's never really directly coached anyone on how to cheer, so she probably hasn't ever personally thought about what constitutes a good cheer, right?
Now, what have we learned?
Lots of control.
Good.
Screaming and hollering.
Yes, and most importantly,
Passion.
right. So now that you know the elements of a good cheer, let's hear one.
Yay.
For crying out loud. Okay, well, at least Rainbow Dash from the EG universe doesn't know anything about cheering, right? Right?
Together we are Canterlot. Come and cheer our name.
Yeah, okay. So there is a huge continuity problem in this episode. By practically any stretch of the imagination, there shouldn't be any way in which Rainbow Dash is either unfamiliar with cheering or dismissive of it in any way. This episode would have been a lot more believable if they had instead played off the past embarrassment from her parents, having that be a factor for why she thought that cheering was lame and silly. That way, instead of being condescending and completely dismissive of it, she would have at least been trying to just save the students from what she perceived as public embarrassment, not realizing that a proper cheering performance can actually be a really good thing for everyone. Even that idea has some holes in it, but it would work better than her just being completely dismissive of it as being super lame in any capacity. Or honestly, it could have just been as simple as Dash constantly bailing on her assigned duty as cheerleading coach because she was more interested in the ball game and having the students fail simply because she wasn't spending the time to teach them properly, thus making the problem more of an issue of not following through on one's responsibilities as opposed to an issue with lack of respect for others' interests. Having her suddenly just hate on cheering like this just doesn't really make any sense, and neither does her sudden amnesia on the subject. All that said, one thing that is true about Rainbow Dash is she tends to be rather rude and disrespectful when it comes to things that she does not personally enjoy or find any value in. One such recent example of this is just last season in The End and Friend, where Dash had no appreciation really for the things that Rarity enjoyed doing, and that led to a conflict that almost ended their friendship together. And there's lots of little things here and there that add up, like, back in Top Bolt, where she instantly fell asleep during Twilight's lecture to the cadets because she found that just dull and boring. And, also like in Testing 123, where Twilight was trying to tutor her on the Wonderbolt's history, and Dash was just kind of like goofing off, not taking it seriously, stuff like that. And then we can go, even all the way back to Season 2, before she was introduced to Daring Do, where she accused anyone who read books of being an egghead, since she saw no point in reading books herself. So, yeah, Dash may be a loyal friend, but she also has a problem with respect for things that she does not appreciate. So, aside from the fact that Dash having such a low opinion of cheerleading doesn't really make any sense at all, the rest of her behavior in this episode is actually in line with her character, even now in these later seasons. And I definitely say that she's gotten better about this overall, but that personality trait has not vanished entirely. And now, true, it was really a jerk move to make Yona and Hoceles cry the way that she did, but honestly, given her past behavior, I still think it's within the realm of her character to do something like this. Now, the thing is, because she saw absolutely no value in cheerleading at all, she couldn't believe that anyone could honestly care about it so much. Also, because she'd spent so little time with the students at all on the subject, she probably couldn't see how much that it really meant to them. Her mind was just stuck on the game itself, and that's all that she wanted to pay any attention to, because that's what she was interested in. But, actually, the real problem here is that she had a strong opinion about cheerleading and was projecting her opinion onto everyone else, saying, no pony likes it. Honestly, this is something we are all at fault on at some point. We are all unique, and we all have our own opinions, and some opinions are much stronger than others. When we feel very strongly about something, it's hard to understand or even comprehend how or why somebody else can think any differently about the same thing. This can happen with just about anything, be it something as simple as, your favorite food, or something as complex as your preferred political candidates. Not diving into politics, I'm just stating that to make a point. When you've made up your mind that something is absolutely 100% true and this is the way that it should be, it's pretty tough to ever accept, a differing opinion on that subject. And it's all too easy to voice your own opinion in a way that can be very hurtful to someone else, and sometimes without even realizing that you're doing it. This is a problem that I know all too well, because I know that I'm quite strongly opinionated about a lot of different things, and I tend to offer those opinions during conversation, whether or not they're asked for. Even when they are asked for, if it's something I feel very strongly about, I still can end up saying something that I regret later. On these commentaries, I do my best to choose my words very carefully and consider all the sides of the situation as fairly and equally as I can. But in private conversations, it's more difficult to not get excited about certain things and express my opinions in a way that can rub people the wrong way, especially when I'm really frustrated about something. And Rainbow Dash was definitely frustrated here because she was all jazzed about being involved with the first ever Friendship School buckball game, only to find out that she'd been reassigned to cheerleading coach, of all things. Because of that, whatever low opinion that she had of cheerleading to begin with was likely amplified quite a bit, because the task was also taking her away from what she really wanted to be doing. This resulted in her mistreating the students and also prevented her from even considering the possibility that it's something that she might be good at, despite her alleged lack of knowledge about it. And honestly, that's even something I take with a grain of salt. A little bit of her claim to not know anything about it. It's like, that may not be as absolute of a thing as you think. Because I know personally all too well how easy it is to convince myself that I know very little about something that I don't want to be stuck doing, just to try and find a way out of having to actually do it. And then when I'm either forced or properly motivated to do it, I then often find that I'm better at the task than I had previously given myself credit for. Ultimately, Dash was indeed perfect for this job because she's so enthusiastic and all about making everything awesome, as Smolder so precisely pointed out. I love the refreshing dose of cold hard truth that we got from Smolder in this episode. Not only that, but if you think about it, coordinating all the students' movements to get them in sync with each other really isn't all that different from how the Wonderbolts all have to get in sync with each other in order to properly perform their precision aerial acrobatics. So she's actually a better fit than you might have even realized just watching this episode. But I love the fact that Dash actually got to a point here where she couldn't even care less about the game itself, because she was so nervous about the success of her students' performance that they had worked so hard on to perfect in such a short amount of time. And she still had to get in that slight ego jab at the end there about being such a great, cheerleading coach, but really the way that she completely tossed the game aside, to the point where it didn't even matter that they lost, and how hard she worked with students on their cheer routine. It just all really shows how much she actually did care about them as friends, because buckball means a lot to her. We know that, and for me at least, this really, I think, made up for her earlier mistakes. She really truly proved where her priorities were in the end, and they were definitely in the right place. So really appreciated that. She just needed a little reminder about how her friends were more important than her interest in the game. And she also needed to learn that just because she doesn't care something about something the same way that somebody else doesn't mean that that other thing is not equally as important as the things she herself cares about. They're just important to somebody else in the same way. And honestly, this is all a lesson we need to hear too, and it can be a very hard one to live out in terms of your relationships. Friends and loved ones will always have interests that you don't exactly share, and it can be difficult to be supportive of those interests when you don't see the point in them yourself. But it's extremely important to do, though, to maintain healthy relationships. And if you put forth an honest effort to do so, you might actually find that you enjoy, or at least appreciate, these activities a lot more than you thought you would. So, just give it a chance. Now, regarding the students themselves, I found the selection of students we ended up with to be quite interesting. For starters, it's a bit odd that Silverstream didn't volunteer, since she's clearly one of the most enthusiastic of the Young Six, but therein lies the problem as far as the story goes, in that she didn't really have anything that she needed to prove on this front. The same could probably also be said with Sandbar and Gals. I haven't really thought about those too much, but for the three we got, Yona struggles with fitting in with the ponies because of the significant cultural differences, obviously, and her enthusiasm and energy can be difficult for the ponies to handle. Finding a way for her to use her stomping effectively was a really big deal for her. Ocellus has struggled quite a bit with her identity, as we saw just recently in Student Council, where she was on Starlight's counseling couch, changing through a lot of her various forms, kind of having a little identity crisis there. And here she noted that she wanted to be known for something more than just what she can change into. That honestly hit me kind of hard after it really sunk in, because it's basically the same thing as wanting to be recognized as being great just because of who you are, and not just what you can do. Add to that the fact that she's naturally timid and shy, and that makes this a really big deal, because she's really putting herself out there by doing something as public as a cheering performance. And yeah, it's not lost on me that she's having the volume issue, just like Fluttershy used to back in Sonic Rainboom, which there's also references to in this episode, so there was some continuity. And Smolder is going through a phase here where she's trying to allow herself to embrace her feminine side, which she wasn't able to do really back home because of the cultural stigmas there. I think she was interested in cheering, but saw it as cringy and embarrassing, probably just like Dash did. But by her own admission, she actually volunteered for it solely because she heard Rainbow Dash was going to be the coach. And because she thought that Dash would be able to make it awesome and cool, and not something to be ridiculed over. Just through the grapevine, chatting with some of my buddies, I heard that somebody in the fandom made a comment about Smolder being out there alone under the bleachers, possibly crying by herself because she was sad about not being able to actually go through with the cheering thing that she'd been looking forward to. I think she was just as hurt by Rainbow Dash as Yona and Acellus were, but wouldn't go so far as to allow anyone to actually see her cry. So that could very well be why she was alone like that. Like, she wouldn't have wanted to even be in the dorm rooms where her friends there could have heard her cry, potentially. If that was the case, my heart really goes out to her, because both because of how she was hurt and how alone she must feel. Because there's really nobody else around who really appreciates what she's going through, except maybe Spike. There's aside from Spike, there's no other dragons around, and even if there were, she's a bit of a black sheep amongst her species anyway, given her embrace of her feminine side. So, none of her own species to be familiar with on this, and none of, she's in a foreign land where it's all ponies and everything. She's kind of in a tough position there. Sometimes I feel like we don't realize enough just the turmoil that these foreign students are dealing with, trying to all coexist together in this strange foreign land. Seems to go well, but it's probably not always so easy. But anyway, these three definitely made for a unique group in this situation, as did the two new ponies, Shimmy Shake and Lighthoof. I'm not entirely sure why we needed some stereotypical cheerleader characters in here, but they were awesome nonetheless, and they filled out the team very well by having some traditional cheerleading experience to share. And I've actually had a lot of the fan art around those two shared with me, and by some friends who are helping me avoid spoilers and stuff, and it's all just absolutely amazing stuff. And honestly, it's nice to see some of the lesser known voice actors like Diana Karina and Kelly Ogmanson get some more work on the show as well. They don't have nearly as many roles as some of the others that we've seen on here typically, so it's fun to see. And Twilight, yeah, the way that she basically manipulated Dash into learning that lesson, she is definitely taken after her mentor, Princess Celestia, in terms of her being able to see problems and simply nudge others in the right direction to work through it themselves. There are times where direct advice is good, but other times it's actually better to let someone learn a lesson the hard way, because that way it has a much greater impact to the person learning it. And soccer mom Celestia. I was definitely not prepared for that. That actually, my freak out to that is actually in my personal, top 10 reaction moments that I've had doing this show. With what we've seen out of Celestia, out of her personality lately, it shouldn't really be all that surprising, but at the same time, it's surprising to see her act that way in public like this, especially when she's there in an official capacity, in this case, the head mayor of her school. What's actually almost even funnier, though, is the fact that everyone around her briefly went wide-eyed at her outburst and then immediately went back to normal, like nothing had happened. Either they were just too engrossed in the game to care, or too scared to even question it, or, third option, perhaps this behavior from Celestia is a little bit more common than we even realize. It's just just another day with Celestia. I don't know. Oh, and yeah, there's the fact that the entire school of unicorns was able to play buckball. It didn't even occur to me in first watch through this how that would be an issue because of the requirement of one of each of the three races, but this is how that did indeed pose a significant problem here. But, the butterfly wing spell from all the way back at Sonic Rainboom certainly made sense, but the magic suppression horn ring to effectively make a unicorn an earth pony, that was a very interesting twist. It's actually something I've seen mentioned in some fanfics and stuff. I don't know if it's ever been in the comics or not, but as far as I know, it's never been canon in this show. So, given that it now exists, I have to wonder if that's going to be something that Greaaat might make use of at some point in whatever the final conflict here is going to be. Maybe use that as a way to suppress some of the unicorns and alicorns' magic. Hard to say. I have absolutely no idea, and since I have not yet been spoiled on anything related to the upcoming finale. I know there's been leaks and whatever. The finale is known, but I have not seen any of it. I'm staying spoiler free so far. So this is just something I've wondered about. If this is anything to do with the finale, it's purely coincidence at this point. But then again, I really think this could just be a plot device for this one episode, just so that it makes sense on how this would work. So that's probably all it is. At the very least, it worked quite well to explain how School of All Unicorns could compete fairly at this sport. And honestly, this probably opens up the possibility of other creatures getting involved with it at some point too. Let the Forden students play buckball as well. Why not? Anything's possible at this point. So anyway, that's about all I got on this episode. Yes, the continuity error is huge and rather annoying. But that aside, there is still a very good lesson to be had in this episode, which is more than I can say for certain other episodes in past seasons. I'm sure others will disagree with me on this, but for me personally, the most important aspect of the show is the lessons that it teaches. And as long as there's a good lesson for us, things like these continuity errors really aren't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. So is this the worst episode of the season? Really hard to say, as it all depends on what criteria you're judging it by. It's really all subjective. Simply in terms of story continuity, yeah, this is a black eye. Especially with how good the storyline continuity has actually been overall the last couple seasons. But I'm still not going to say that this is a bad episode, because it had a really good story and lesson for us overall. My most disliked episodes in the entire series are ones that have questionable or practically non-existent moral lessons. So really, this one here doesn't even make the top 10 most disliked episodes for me. I have no idea where it is in the ranking. So, but make of that whatever you will. That's what I think about this. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully some of you guys out there enjoyed this with me, and look forward to seeing you guys soon for the next one. Later.